Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. In full disclosure, I don't know what we're going to do today, but we are going to find out. Oh, look at that. I have to turn off Warcraft logs. I don't use Warcraft logs, but apparently it installs when you have CurseForge, so if I don't turn this off, it just pops up every single time until I go in here and I tell it to exit Overwolf. But I have to have that apparently on so that when I use CurseForge to update my add-ons, it can do that, so... There we go. Alright, guys, thank you for being here. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, first thing we see is a floating dead body in the inn. If we're seeing a dead body in the inn, is that like some kind of griefing happened, or what could happen to kill somebody inside the inn? It's kind of scary. Brisk Sixes, David, welcome. Thank you guys for being here and coming to hang out. You're not dead again? Kazi, I'm not dead again, no. We're level 29. So we are very much alive. Miles, good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. We're going to run out and just find some stuff to grind on for a little bit. I have to do a little bit of thinking about where we want to quest, and I'd love it if you guys had any good ideas on where we should quest right now, because we're kind of getting to the end of a couple of different zones, and the level of the questing is getting kind of high for my comfort. Regis, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming to hang out. Yeah, I hope the Paladin goes all the way to 60. That would be ideal. We're feeling pretty strong, but every time I say that, we get killed, so I should probably just shut up about it. Kazi, you ask, if you can't 1 versus 2 mobs, is that normal? Like, do you mean, is it normal for you in Classic Era to not be able to fight 2 mobs at once? Yeah. If that's what you're asking, that's pretty normal for, like, a lot of the leveling. Once you get to a certain level and you get a little bit more powerful, sometimes you can take on 2 enemies at a time if they're like green enemies, depending on the class, depending on your use of like CC and distractionary tactics. You could, but it's not usually ideal. John, welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out, man. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to find somewhere to grind on like stuff that's not going to kill us, while we think about and possibly talk about where we should quest next. Red Robin, you ask, is there any point for me to have my auto attack here? I mean, yeah, sure. Sometimes I hit auto attack before I judge. I could also hit T, but it's easier for me to hit 1 than it is to hit T. And I'm not hurting for the spot, so I don't really need to put anything else here. You could live without it. You know, you could click to attack, you could hit T to attack. I like to tab target, and then I'll just hit 1. That'll get the auto attack going, and then I can judge if I want to. But yeah, I could start the auto attack from like as far away as I want. So yeah, I just like it there. Eventually we might move it, but no, you don't need it. Mogar man, good morning. Whitney, hello. Hope you're doing well. Thank you guys for being here. Are there quests for Alliance available in Thousand Needles? Sixes, that's a really good question. Well, I mean, oh, the Shimmering Flats. How do we get past the lift? Aren't there like, aren't there horde NPCs at the lift? How would we live? Is there like a different way down, perhaps? Architect says, finally a face. Yeah, you know, I've been stuck with the face my whole life. You guys have only had to see it for like 5 or 6 days. But welcome to the stream. I appreciate you being here. Kazi, there have been a lot of people in hardcore for a long time now, and the number just keeps going up. So that's why we're getting official Blizzard hardcore servers, because of how popular it is right now. It's basically what everyone's doing, except for people who are enjoying other things. Yep, obviously. We could come through Feralus? Yeah, but how would we get to Feralus? So we'd have to... So let's plot out the journey. How would we do this? So we'd come to Darkshore. We have a flight point here, so we can run down through the Barrens. We'd have to go just south through the Barrens. Or you then come through Feralus from Desolus? Like, are you saying come through the Charred Vale into Desolus, into Fairless. I think that there's mobs in Fairless that maybe just kill us, you know, and then, yeah. Otherwise, sure. Yeah, I'll have to think about how I would think about getting there safely. It doesn't seem like it would be safe. There might be a way to like just avoid the lift guards if we were a certain level. I just don't know how, like, wide their aggro radius is going to be. I'm trying to think if I've ever taken a Lion's character down before. I must have at some point. During Season of Mastery, we leveled a human warrior. I must have gone at least to Tannerus at some point. So at some point I had to do the lift and I had to do the run. I just don't know what level that would have been at. We have a quest to turn in, apparently, so... What is this? This is not a quest turn in. Destroy the dragon while catapults. I don't know if it's safe for us to do that, but we can maybe check it out. It's level 31. They stop attacking once you're on the lift. Okay, so if I can time it so that we're not just standing there at the end of the plank waiting for them to kill us, then maybe we get lucky, we get on the lift and they leave us alone. We could bubble jump. I think bubble jumping might be, not like we jump and then bubble. Let's do it in the right order because we only have a couple seconds. Maybe we bubble jump. That could be the easiest way. We just run right off the lift and we pop Divine Protection about halfway down. If they hit me, Whitney, I think I might get flagged for PvP. Like, if they actually land a hit on me, it probably would flag me. Ghost, it sounds super risky. I'm probably not really going to do any of this. I'm just kind of theorizing on what a person who is much braver than myself might do if they really wanted to get down to the Shimmering Flats right now. I don't think we're going to do it. I think I'd rather just find somewhere safe to grind if it comes to that, you know? They can hit you, it's only if you hit back. Okay, well that's better. Yeah, I have no interest in ending up being accidentally PvP flagged. That would be a terrible way to end the journey. Only one aggro's and he doesn't hit hard. Is he an elite? Fun employed? Is he an elite that doesn't hit hard, or is it just like a normal mob that's PvP flagged? Because if it's just a normal guy, then I feel a lot better about it. If it's an elite, I'd worry that he'd get like a crushing blow or something. Miles, we did some Alliance stuff in Stonetail, and yeah, there was a little bit for us to do, and I honestly don't remember if we finished it all up or if we just kind of left. Ah, yeah, we have the Harpy quest. Okay, we have the Harpy quest. I think that's basically it. This one is a group quest. We can't do that. Yeah, I mean, we can go kill some Harpies. It's a long way to go just for one quest. And I don't... We did some stuff here. I don't know if maybe we missed some lower level stuff, but I think we did everything we could besides this one. Alright, we've got a couple players here. That's good. This might give us a better opportunity to get to this objective. We have a Dwarf Paladin, level 29. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, how would we want to get to this thing? We probably cut right up the middle here. Ramzor, welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for being here. I think we can run right up the middle. Here is our familiar hill. We've been here before, so... Kyopi, good afternoon. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Not so healthy hot dogs and beans, Lael? Blasphemy, man. Blasphemy. Hot dogs and beans, that's good eating, yeah. Alright, so it looks like we have to clear enough to be able to click on one of these catapults, which seems... I mean, it seems like it would be darn near impossible to do it. How would we even think about engaging this? We've got this dude here with his pet. This pet probably has the same amount of HP as a normal enemy. It's probably not going to go down quick. We can use exorcism on it. That could help out. And then we pull this guy and this guy with him. I don't really see how we get out of that. Maybe if we pulled these two, we can sneak in. Oh, we'd have to clear this guy too. Oh yeah, just run up and fire. Yeah, you take care of that one. Dwaynette, you do your thing. There we go, big old pyroblast to start things off. That lets us get a little bit of a closer look at least. Let's pull this guy and just see what happens. If we have to run away and leash him, we'll do that. I just want to see if this caster comes with. Okay, the caster did not come with. That's actually really good news. This may be doable, guys. Alex, afternoon, man. Welcome. Thanks for coming to the stream. Ghost asks, can you work together in a group? We can work together passively. We can't communicate about it. I can't ask him for help, he can't ask me, and I can't ask him to do a certain thing or indicate to him in any way what I want him to do. What I can do is benefit from his presence. Which I'm planning to do. See how I'm hanging back here and I'm just kind of waiting to see what he does. And then what I'll do is if he pulls something extra, I'll pop in and help. Look, he got the polymorph off. See, we don't have tools like that. I'm going to run in here now, and I'm going to complete my quest. So we could work together like that, where I just shamelessly take advantage of his capabilities. Yes. Mm-hmm. Taxiarchus, good afternoon, man. Thanks for being here. So with that done, I mean, I kind of don't mind maybe grinding on these guys for a little bit. At least the raiders are level 26. I mean, I feel like we can deal with them pretty easily. Yes, they do run, and running is not a good quality in a mob that you're trying to farm. That's absolutely true. Yeah, maybe we can hang out here. We're bound to get some respawns. I'm just trying to think, like, let's get somewhere safe before I open the map. I don't know if this is safe or not, but let's just take a look at our quest log and try to think about what we want to do. We have to get the bronze tube at some point. We could check in Menethil for that. I think we can go to Theramore, and the vendor in Theramore is supposed to always have it, but I don't know about that. Let's see. This one was the pile that we have to dig up at the farm. There's the guys hanging out in stealth that were giving us a problem. We might be able to do this. Ogre thieves we might be able to tackle soon. And then yeah, some of the stuff we had in Stone Talon went gray. Let's go ahead and abandon the gray stuff and just clean up our logs a bit. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, and I don't know what the next place is that we're really gonna get into, like a new questing hub short of Stranglethorn at like level 32. So we've got some time to kind of figure things out. Alex, thanks for asking, man. He seems to be doing better today. Yeah, we've gone the longest stint fever free in the last like 4 days. He's gone the longest stint of like just fever free, and we all were able to get like a normal night's sleep last night, which is actually amazing. So yeah, I think the worst of it is over. I say that and I'm like, I don't have to knock on wood because I'm pretty darn confident in the facts. Lael, you had a crazy storm there with chunks of ice coming out of the sky? Like hail? Like giant hail chunks? That sounds bad, man. I hope everything is safe. We've been having really good weather here, which I'm really happy about, because I understand a lot of places, especially the farther east and north you go in the country right now, most places are kind of messed up. We have a breadcrumb we can turn in. We're not going to be able to do any of these quests, but we can get the breadcrumb in. We've got a couple of things on the bridge. But yeah, nothing we can do in the Highlands yet. We could do the torn fins of the Tide Hunters and the torn fins of the Oracles, level 30. Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, he's gonna be good, I think. It was a rough one, but we got through it. What about these guys? Level 22, not good for grinding. Yeah, not good for grinding. Where's our Hearthstone set? Darkshire. Okay. Alright, we could probably find something to grind on in Darkshire if we need to. Then there might be a couple of quests we can actually do. Lael, you're talking about the smoke. You guys are getting some of the wildfire consequences down there in Virginia. Yeah, we have a little bit of it. Like, the air quality here is not great, but it's nowhere near as bad as it is in places like New York. I watched the news yesterday, and I try not to watch the news because obviously it's just like, here's one bad thing stacked upon another that you can't do anything about. But yeah, we watched the news, and I now know exactly with granularity how crappy it is for so many people right now. Let's check the vendor over here for the bronze tube. Yeah, Alex, I think we could do South Shore a little bit. It's level 30 or so. Seem to be like the most of the quests seem to be level 30.
Salutations!
I think we might have to grind for a little bit. This guy does not have the item we need right now. Let's empty the old inventory. Spirit and stamina, we don't need those. I'm trying to sell him quest items apparently. He doesn't want those, thankfully. Brisk, you're in New Jersey and it's getting bad there? Yeah, I'm sure it must be. You guys are obviously really close to New York. I think they said like 72 hours before it like even possibly starts to improve for most people. But I'm sure that can shift and change depending on what the weather does.
Off and away.
Yeah, Lael, you know the funny thing is, you know, I watched the news last night, and they talked about a lot of things, and they explained a lot of things about the smoke and about what was happening. But the one thing nobody talked about, and it felt like they just like didn't want to panic people, is that I didn't see anybody talk about the possible long-term health effects. They were like, yeah, it's really bad for people right now, and if you have asthma and stuff, you should stay inside. But nobody asked or talked about, you know, what are the long-term possible side effects of this kind of exposure? And that tells me that it might be really bad. Because sometimes when the news doesn't tell you stuff, it's so people don't panic. So yeah, that's what kind of really worries me. I'm sure if I went digging for information, like on the interwebs, I could find out what the consequences could be, but the fact that they didn't put it out there on like the nightly news kind of tells me that it's not good, you know. It makes me really worried. Not for myself, but for the people who are in those areas, that it's really bad. So where we're at, you know, it's the air quality's not good, but it's like the air quality's never great. So I consider myself really lucky just to be where I'm at. Alex, basically there's a bunch of wildfires that happened in Canada, and the smoke is blowing down into the northeastern part of the United States and then coming down into the southeastern part, and just the air quality is super bad everywhere. I looked at some time-lapse shots of New York City from morning to night, and for most of the afternoon it looked like Mars. The sky looked like Mars, which is not, it's not what it's supposed to look like here on planet Earth. You guys think I could do lower level stuff in South Shore? Because I mean, for like Horde, there'd be lower level stuff, but when I look there now, it's like it's all level 30 and up. Like if we take a look at, if I take a look at South Shore really quick, level 30, level 31, level 33, level 34. I don't think I want to be there yet. You know what I mean? Because like, yeah, if I look at like Stranglethorn's level 30, it's almost like we would go to Stranglethorn before we do level 31 stuff. The Horde gets to go to Hillsbrad at like level 25, but apparently Alliance, you don't really want to do that. Yeah, it's like, well, it's different versions of the game too, because I'm sure like maybe even in Wrath of the Lich King, the leveling and stuff might be different in South Shore. It might be one of those zones that got changed over time. It's always confused me that about the level difference between Horde and Alliance there, especially because it was always, like back in the day, I feel like that was like an open world PvP spot. So it's weird to me that naturally leveling there, Alliance players would be a higher level naturally than Horde players leveling there. It's always been a little bit weird. We could fight these vile things. I could fight a little bit more. They are pretty far apart from each other. We don't want to come down here, so we're kind of going to be stuck just farming the guys that respawn. After Kata, there are no Alliance quests. That's right. After Kata, it's all just a Forsaken area. They've like destroyed South Shore or whatnot. We played through that zone after Kata on a undead warlock like a year ago. Yeah, Lael, that's typically why I avoid the news too. Sometimes I feel guilty about avoiding the news because obviously like me avoiding the news does not stop people from suffering. And I wonder, like, as a human being, do I have a responsibility to like be aware of like shit that's happening in the world to people who aren't me? So sometimes I avoid the news and then I start feeling guilty about it, and then I'll like make myself watch it every day for a long time and kind of go through this cycle. It's probably not a healthy cycle, but it is something that I go through with the news. This part of me is like, don't look away, like look at what's happening, but the other part of me is like, don't do that to yourself. Ayo, maybe in time. Right now I'm still trying to work through like some of the older ESO stuff, and it's probably going to be a while. When I get back into playing the ESO playthrough, you know, I want to do as much as I can to see all the stories in the different areas, so I might take one character through a bunch of different, like, starting areas. So it might be a long time. So I want to see all the content, because I feel like all the stories are so good that if I'm going to play the game, I'm just going to play it, like, super slow and not at all be concerned about what the current content is, because I know I have so much content that's, like, awesome and available. I should have healed like a little bit further away, would have been smarter. Dan, hello man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, the Paladin is still alive. We had a couple of really close calls yesterday. I put us in a couple of situations that I probably ought not to have. And but we lived. We're still going. We're approaching the big level 30 milestone. Like, I don't want to talk about it too much. But, yeah, we're getting there. Ah, Dan, vacation over, huh? It had to end sometime. That's the saddest part about vacations is you know, you have to go back. You have to go back. Hey Alex, yeah, ESO is Elder Scrolls Online. Rich V, good day to you. Thank you for being here, hanging out with us. Steven, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we get a face. You guys have to see my face now, too. I have to see it every day. My whole life, it's been the same. And now if you're here, you're subjected to it as well. So I appreciate you being here. Ayo, yeah, I did play some Guild Wars, too. I just didn't really get stuck into it. Yeah, people kept telling me that you know, the combat was kind of slow and it seemed really easy, but then people kept telling me, oh, at level 80 it gets super hard. And I'm like, that's not really what I'm in for either. I kind of wanted like a consistent experience to kind of build my muscle memory with a class throughout the whole game, but people literally kept telling me that it was all going to change. And I think they said it like endearingly, like they knew it was a good thing because they've watched the game grow and evolve over time. But coming from the outside and like you pick up a new MMO and you just kind of want your experience to be consistent. And when you know your experience is not going to be consistent, that there's going to be these jarring power jumps or like changes in how you have to play the character, that's like, it's a point of friction that I think I rubbed off of it, and I think a lot of people bounce off because of that just big point of friction where the game just suddenly gets much, much different. And it probably gets different for the better, but like when you put in like, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60 hours playing it one way and then the game's going to totally change, it's not the best experience to have. There was a lot of stuff in Guild Wars 2 that I liked, but ultimately it didn't pull me in enough to stick with it. You think we'll get to 30 today, Tactical Warrior? Only if I go for a long time. It's going to take a long time to get to 30. I think like, do we do a /played here? Will it tell us our last level? How long it took? Let's see. That's total time played. Just this level. I wish I could see last level. Because yeah, I think it's going to take quite several hours. Several hours. Maybe 4 or 5 hours. And because we don't have a lot of quests to do. We don't have a lot of quests that are like close together in one zone that are like safe for us to tackle. So I think it's going to be slow going until we get to 30. Once we get to 30, I'll be more inclined to go to places like South Shore and maybe check out some of the hunting quests in Stranglethorn, but I think we do have to be 30 first. Ayo, how long before 60? 200 more hours of gameplay? Yeah, so we've got... No, that's not what I wanted. But there's our /who though. So what do we have so far? 2 days. So yeah, we got about 55 hours so far. It's like probably like 250 to 260 hours to level a character in Classic Era. So yeah, I'd say maybe a little bit less than 200 more hours of gameplay at the pace that I play. It's going to be a long time. That could be an over-exaggeration, but I don't really feel like it is. If it is an over-exaggeration, it's not an intentional one. I feel like our human priest... Even just getting him, we got him to like level 54 before Burning Crusade was going to come out, and I boosted him to 58. And even getting him to like 54, I think it was like 200 hours of gameplay. Alex, the mining is fine, the blacksmithing is complete shite. I have big regrets about trying to level blacksmithing. And I'm not going to be doing it ever again. I think in the future we're either going to go herbalism, alchemy, or we're just going to go gathering professions to sell stuff. Because production professions, I don't tend to want to put the time into them to watch the bars go from left to right. And a lot of them can get expensive. And a lot of them you need materials that come from other professions, which can be hard to come by when we're doing solo self-found. Yeah, you know, in Duskwood, I just haven't seen a lot besides copper and tin. I haven't even seen any silver nodes, I don't think. And those are supposed to be able to proc off of tin nodes, I thought. What are you? You are what we need. Let's pull you out here, though. Up here to the fighting hill, please. I really don't want to work into this mine shaft at all, but maybe it's not very deep. Oh, no, no, no. I saw level 32. We aggroed this sucker. This is where we're going to be happy for that increased run speed that we have going on, because we don't want to take any hits from this guy. I didn't catch if he was an elite or not, but he was level 32. We'll put a little skull on him so we can see him a bit more clearly, because we don't need that kind of trouble. We got really lucky with this whole side of the area being totally clear for us to run away. Tactical Warrior, I mean, you have a point. We could do SFK. Barely, I think we're almost out level for it. But you know I'm not going to, though. You know I'm not going to. I'd rather just be patient and, like, maybe we have to grind somewhere. This is not the place to grind, and honestly, I might not continue to push this quest. I will almost agree that, especially for a hardcore run, blacksmithing might be the worst. Like I said, I don't plan to try to level it again. It was like one of those things that seemed like a really cool idea at the time, but it wasn't a very functional idea for the kind of player that I am, and like thinking about how I play the game and what I want to be doing with my time, it just wasn't a very smart move. Well, let's see. I will, that's not cool. I was trying to take this mob from you. How dare you AoE blast it? That seemed like a tactical AoE blast too. Like they saw me coming in and they were like, before this guy hits this mob, we're gonna tag it, and they tagged it. So yeah, no wisdom for you. No, I'll give him wisdom. Boop. At this point, if I drop blacksmithing, I'm probably not going to replace it, especially with another production profession. Maybe we would try to level up like skinning or herbalism. Skinning would probably be the easiest thing to level up, and then we have mining and skinning. We just sell everything. But I don't think I'll drop it and pick up another production profession. I think that I just don't really care for production professions besides alchemy. I like alchemy. I like having potions. I like having ones that heal. I like having like when you can get like 4 different potions going at once. I think that's really cool. It kind of makes me feel like a witcher, which is always good. Yeah, Dana, yeah, I get that. I just don't want to make stuff. If it's not a potion, I don't want to make it. I think that's the simplest way for me to put it. That'll be my crafting mantra from now on. If it's not a potion, I don't want to make it. And I think I would feel differently in a world where somehow we could use the auction house. Because then, you know, when you need certain mats, or you're like, okay, I need more copper, but we're not really getting copper right now, you can just go buy some. And it kind of makes life just a little bit easier when it comes to professions. Same thing when I think about tailoring. I like my clothies having tailoring, because you can make some really good gear with it. But when I've successfully leveled up tailoring in the past, it's by getting to a certain threshold and then going to the auction house and buying a bunch of stacks of like cheap stuff, you know, and then being able to level it up pretty quickly. And without the player economy in place, you know, we can't do stuff like that. Even 85 engineering will give me a better helmet I currently have, which is no helmet. So, absolutely. This guy's coming back out, so we are not going to approach. Oh, we don't need Vile Fangs. We've somehow already killed 8 of them. Did not even notice. Yeah, we're going to have to go in here, which is like one of the last things I want to do, but if we want to get the rest of these guys, we're going to have to poke our heads in here a little bit. That guy's around the corner right now. We're going to body pull this guy probably. Let's pull him all the way out. And we probably need to zoom out because we're going to get respawns out here eventually. Well, at least we don't have to worry about him for a couple minutes. Being a named guy, he's probably on the 5-minute respawn. We don't have a lot of water left. That's a problem. We're not far from town, though, thankfully. Alright, if this other player is going to clear into here a bit, then maybe we are safe to finish this one up. Yeah, this is really sketchy. Marshall, welcome, man. Thanks for stopping by the stream. We're trying not to get killed in this mine shaft. Yeah, there's another player here which makes it a little bit safer. It's a mage, so... You know, they got polymorph, they could freeze everybody in place. But yeah, you know, probably not like a really great place to be. If the mage weren't here, we would not be doing this. We probably would have just gone to do something else. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass, but we'll see. Rich, the camera angles I get are so much better than yours. I do a lot of stuff to manipulate my camera with the mouse. But I've been playing the game for 20 years, and what I found is like, kind of like unconsciously manipulating your camera becomes something that you do just with more experience with the controls. I use my mouse and keyboard to do all kinds of different stuff. That's how I kite backwards with the mouse and keyboard, stuff like that. It's just practice over time, and like when I started recording videos, I started to do more camera work and stuff at times, so. Oh, look at this. Iron. It's iron. Requires 125. We can't even do it. They stopped to let us do it. They were so kind. And we can't even get it because we're 5 points shy. 5 points. Oh man, yeah. Oh, what a bummer. And they, like I said, they even stopped to like politely let us get a hit off of it, and then we just couldn't do it. We had to walk away ashamed. That's what I felt like. Like when I didn't have the 5 points, like I blushed. That was not good. Alright, so yeah, getting out of the cave for now would be good. The respawns are gonna pop up. And so we just ought to wait outside. We could probably kill some stuff though, you know, just for the experience. Let's go after this guy. We'll fight him up against the hill over here to avoid any respawns. David, the mining walk of shame, it really was. Like, you walk up to the node, no action happens, and then you skulk away. It was bad. It's gonna go on my list of, like, most embarrassing things that's happened to me in hardcore is, obviously dying in the elevator shaft of Undercity takes the absolute cake. But this one was pretty embarrassing too. Yeah, Zach, welcome man. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here, for coming and hanging out with us. Here we go, now we got respawns. Pretty soon our named guy is going to come back up, so he's not going to be marked with the X this time, so we need to be careful. Maybe we'll be lucky, we'll see him again and be able to mark him before we aggro him. Sixes, thanks for the call out, man. I didn't see that at all. What do we got? Ooh. What do we got? That looks better despite not having strength on it. Let's see what the character sheet says when we equip it. So right now we're at 149 attack power and 311 power. This has a 3.4 speed. The axe has a 3.6. The axe is probably going to be better because of the slower swing. See, now here's my problem, is that everything goes down. All the numbers go down. Is that just because of the strength? Are you saying that 8 strength gives us that much power that it's worth keeping this equipped? That seems kind of weird. We're not going to use the X right now just because I don't think we have full weapon skill with it, but I think we're going to hang on to it, we're going to use it out, and we're going to see kind of how we feel about it, because it has a slower swing, so I don't know if somehow maybe it could be better for us. Maybe it's because of the X weapon skill? If that's how that works, then yes, that could be it. So we'll get it leveled up. Yeah, right here. We're 132 out of 145, which is not too far off. There aren't any respawns here. I feel bad about this because what I feel like is we're about to get these dropped on us. Let's get out of here. There's the respawn. Yep. There's the one we knew was coming. Oh, Tukin, thanks, man. Yeah, this is now officially our highest level character, so like every level now is a milestone. We're working towards level 30. That's a really big milestone, I think, for a lot of people in hardcore. The slower weapon speed will make the seals proc more. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna level up our axe skill and use it, I think, for a while, but we're not gonna try to level it up on these guys. that would probably be a little bit too pointlessly risky. And speaking of these guys, though, we're done with this quest, so we can get out of here. Jason, you died at level 21 in hardcore and went back to Wrath? Yeah, I mean, no shame in that, man. I will say, like, the one life play is not for everybody. If I hadn't played so much of the game, if I hadn't played so many characters over my history with WoW, then I probably wouldn't be able to do it. Like, if I was me even 10 years ago, I probably would have no interest in a hardcore run where I might have to delete my character, so I get it. Now there's just something about it that's like incredibly immersive. Even when I have to delete a character, like, yeah, like it sucks, but I'm just excited to go again.
Greetings. For the Alliance.
Hey there.
Ben, yeah, we can do that. We can keep him as Ghost. I think I have a couple of them as Ghost, but sometimes I will flat out delete. Also, I want my name back, so if I want to keep using my name, then I think I have to delete them. I can't leave them as Ghost. So, one of the biggest technical impetus is to get the same name, I'd have to delete the character.
For the Alliance.
Jason, it says it's 60 levels of good decisions and one bad move and you're done. Yeah, it's absolutely, sometimes it's like completely random. We've died so many times to just instant respawns. Like camps that have just been cleared that we just got a little too close to. And they've come back in while we're fighting and they've killed us. We've lost 1, 2, at least 3 characters that way. The Shaman got killed by Deforester respawns. The Warrior got killed by Pillager respawns. And the Druid got killed by a bunch of guys with torches who respawned behind us. So yeah, it's like, you're doing everything right, but if anything goes wrong and you can't account for it, you're screwed. But the thing about like RPGs, like you could account for it, but the amount of effort you'd have to put in to like level up to a point where you're super powerful for the area, that could be a lot of effort. So there are ways to like account for like accidental stuff happening, but those ways require player time basically. Like, yeah, you can go grind for 5 hours on safe enemies and just out-level those quests a little bit, and then if you get into trouble, you're going to be a lot more likely to live. But you know, that takes time. It's like, it's a choice. It's very interesting to me, but I can definitely appreciate how it wouldn't be for everybody. I want my inventory space back. And we can get sweet nectar now, so let's go ahead and buy some of that. We'll get rid of that. We'll drag this out. Tom, I never got the bronze tube yet, no. The vendor here doesn't have it. When we go to Theramore, we should be able to get it there, I've heard. So, whenever we make that journey, I don't know when that will be.
Have a good one.
I checked the guy in Menethil too. He didn't have one. But I also have a feeling maybe I'm checking the wrong guy there, so that could be the case too. There was good shoulder gear at the mill in the wetlands. Okay, I didn't see that when we were there. But I wasn't looking at gear actually. My brain was just kind of looking for a bronze tube at the time. With that done, well, let's go down here and try to get this one. It's level 25. We really should be able to do it. Now there are guys hanging out in stealth in the fields, but I feel like at this point we can handle it. Yeah, we do have 12 gold. You know, there's not a lot to spend the gold on. You know, gold doesn't really matter once you have a handful of it because we can't use the auction house. So except for finding those vendors that have like really good vendor gear and that usually cost like a gold or two, gold is kind of worthless, especially for us because we are not going to have to purchase our mount. We are going to get our mount for free. So yeah, I'm always happy to have gold, but then I'm kind of sad because I can't go in the auction house and do anything with it. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, you know? Alex, you think the best spot to try to get to the bronze tube is right outside of Ironforge where you buy the mounts? At Amber Still Ranch or whatever it's called? I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, it's level 25, so we're good on it for a while, but eventually we're going to out-level it, so... In the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter that much. But, you know, it seems like it'd be an easy quest to get done, except when there's competition for the items, and you can't go on the auction house, then yeah, it's a challenge. I think I've always got it from the auction house before. I am keeping my eyes open for stitches, so yeah, I know we're on the road, but I'm trying to keep my eyes peeled. Olaf, hello man. Thanks for coming to the stream, hanging out. Well, it says there's a vein here. I don't... Oh, somebody grabbed it. Okay, well that makes perfect sense, yeah. Must have been the hunter we just saw grab the node. That's why we're 120 blacksmithing or mining and not 125. Missed opportunities and overlooked nodes. Alright, here we go. They're green now, so I think last time we were here these guys were yellow. Should make this much easier. Taxiarchus, you asked, do I think some classes are not compatible with hardcore mode? I think that there are classes that make it easier. I think that hardcore mode is pretty damn near impossible to succeed at, just in general. The game was never designed for you to only have one life, so... The game is designed for you to die many, many times. They expect you to die. So I think like the whole gameplay mode is uncompatible with WoW. It's still really fun. Worst classes? What would be a class that would just be really impossible? You know, I just said a couple of things, but we've played all of them. The ones that we have done, like, the lowest level at have been, like, almost just mistakes and accidents. The Warlock was the only one we couldn't get past level 11. We died twice on 2 different Warlocks. And it was like a pet pathing issue. So maybe pet classes might be incompatible. Because eventually, you know, in 60 levels, your pet is going to do some weird stuff. And I feel like that's your highest likelihood of, like, just randomly getting killed against your own actions, is if your pet does something weird. So I would say, like, the most chance for RNG to kill you might be on a pet class. But that could just be skewed by my own personal experience. Now that being said, we got a hunter to level 19 and the pet never did anything weird. But that just increases the probability every time you level up and your pet hasn't done anything weird yet. To me, like, it increases the probability of your pet doing something weird. Hunter and Mage are S tier. I definitely see how Mage will be S tier. We had so many ways to get out of jail free. Blinks, bubbles, shield, like ice to freeze people, like... So many things to get us out of trouble. The only reason we died is because I ran back into trouble 4 times in a row, like with no regard to safety, because I was being super stubborn that day and just mentally wasn't in a place where I should have been playing hardcore WoW. I should have been doing something else, anything else with no consequences. Your mind state has a lot to do with like survival also. Days when I've felt like I've been rushing myself because of some perceived like time deadline or something like that have been times that we have gotten killed because we go off book. Anytime you let like external things like affect your gameplay in hardcore, you're much more likely to get killed. Tom the priest was unkillable until we fell down the elevator shaft. And then it turns out you go splat like everything else. Neelan, welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for stopping by. Adam, what version of WoW would I recommend? Classic era. You don't have to play hardcore, but I'd say right now, play classic era. Yep, for the normal classic era realms that aren't hardcore, they're bound together. So it's like you're always gonna have people to play with. You're never gonna see like an empty world. So yeah. Yeah, come check out some classic era. And then you have Wrath Classic, also good. Wrath Classic is like a good middle ground between like classic era and retail. And the cool thing is with your sub, you can try out all versions of the game. You know, with your sub, you get access to all of it. And that's pretty good value. Level 29 ogres, level 30, level 29. We just gotta get down to the box. The box is on the outside of the dungeon, so... Ben, it's funny that you say that, so I don't know what level you got to, but I went into battle for Azeroth content on a couple of characters without heirlooms equipped, and I got killed all the time. I think I thought I was trying to go big, like big pulls and stuff, but I just got killed so much in retail. It's actually really funny. Yeah, if you watch any of my retail leveling, especially from recently, after the Dragonflight patch and all the changes that happened, like, I got myself killed so much. Now that being said, I wasn't really trying not to get killed, but I definitely wasn't trying to get killed. And what kills me in retail is the mob density. Like, they have mobs, so many mobs packed together in such a small little game level-esque area, instead of it being like a world where things are naturally spread out, everything is clustered together. And yeah, I got myself killed so much. Just overextending, pulling too many enemies, backing into entire packs. Just not expecting how close enemies were together. Killed me a lot. Yeah, up to level 20. I wish I could say that it was after level 20 that I died, but it might not have been. But that being said, like, when I play retail, it just kind of makes me play a lot looser. And I think it's like a mentality thing. If I approach retail the way I approach hardcore, obviously I would die less. Yeah, for me, retail has no journey. There's no journey worth going through. There's no coherent journey worth going through, especially when you're just starting at level 1. The way you pick chromie time and the way the questing is set up, like, even if you're just going into battle for Azeroth, like, I don't feel like there's any way to get immersed in the story, lore, or world the way that the new player experience is set up right now in WoW. Which is probably why they don't get lots and lots and lots of new players, because I think people bounce off of it after 20 levels of free play. Like, this is not engaging, this is not challenging, this is not interesting, this doesn't seem to be going anywhere story-wise. And so in 20 levels, they like do a real shit job of giving you any reason to want to play the game. At least when you play Classic Era, you're on a coherent journey. It's a big, long, rambling journey with no real A-plot. But it is exactly what it is. Yeah, the Paladin 3-shot stuff? Yeah. Oh yeah, the fights are short. Yeah. Like, as far as like how long it will take you to kill an enemy one-on-one and stuff. Definitely shorter fights. Alex, I did the same thing, and I think I kept pulling large groups and running into large groups and just got myself killed often. It was quite funny, actually. Yeah, I feel like Wrath is like a good stopping point for Classic because you can like level through Vanilla, you level through BC, and like there's not a huge like in-your-face A-plot, obviously. There never was in WoW, but you get to experience enough of the world that you can kind of like, you ingest the story of what's going on through osmosis almost, just by being immersed and sunk into the world and sunk into your long journey. That you just get attached to your character and you get attached to the world in a way that you don't in retail. Even in Dragonflight, where they're trying to shove an A-plot down your throat, it's like, I'm not into it. You know, that's the thing about having a big A-plot, is that if you have an A-plot and people don't like it, now you've given them a thing to bounce off of. Whereas if you take this approach and you just kind of have stories going on at the ground level and each zone has a different story of stuff going on, then there's less room for people to bounce off those stories. But when you're shoving the A-plot down my throat and it's full of all your political and social ideas, I'm pulled out of the game. I'm sucked right out of the game. You know, it doesn't feel like Warcraft. It just feels like a story that I never asked for, with Disney Pixar characters that are not as good as Disney Pixar characters, nor are they fully realized. Let's get out of here. I don't need to find whatever node this is. We can just take our quest item and go. Yeah, Tom, that's a good point. I feel like they should let people just play up to level 60. Because, you know, most of retail WoW is about the endgame content, and you're not going to get to do any endgame content until you hit endgame, so who cares how much people level? Give people a chance to, like, see more of the game. Maybe you keep some more people, yeah. When you stop people at level 20 and they've had an unfulfilling, empty experience, they haven't had time to get attached to their character even, they're going to bounce right off of it. If you let them play to level 60, there's a chance, just a chance, that they might see something or feel something in the world. Or maybe they get a really badass weapon or set of armor, and they're like, yeah, you know what, this game is pretty cool. And then they stick around. But yeah, level 20, there's nothing cool that's going to happen. You're going to do Exile's Reach, a little bit of BFA, you're going to be like, where am I, what's going on, what's this about, why is combat so quick? You know, I don't know. I don't feel like 20 levels is going to give anybody time to actually give a crap about giving the game a chance. I thought I was going to fight these, but I'm not. Not 3 of them. Nah. I'll pass. Patrick, good afternoon, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you stopping by. Everybody remember to hydrate. Drink your water. Auntie asks, what's for dinner? It's too early to think about dinner yet. It's only 3 in the afternoon. So, you know, I don't think we've thought about dinner yet. Dinner is whatever my wife wants it to be. Because I can't cook, so if it gets cooked, it's going to be by her amazing hands. And so I just kind of sit back and let those things happen. Unless I'm specifically asked for input. It's a trust thing, you know? Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. It's not going to happen like this, chat, because we have a speed boost in our talent tree, and we took that effing speed boost, and we just ran away from Stitches. That's right. You're not catching me. You do your thing. I don't even know if he'd aggroed us. I don't think he did. I think the spider aggroed us, but still. No, no, no. Let's mark you with a little skull. Yeah, holy crap. I've never seen him cut through here. Now, granted, I think he was in his roleplay phase, so he looked non-aggressive, but it sure did seem like he was chasing us down. Adam, you want to know how many years have I spent playing WoW and how am I not bored of it? I've played WoW since 2004. There have been times in life where I've taken breaks, even very long breaks. See Shadowlands. You know, we played Classic then. There have been times in the past where I've stopped playing video games for years at a time. I do it when I'm loving it, which right now I am. But yeah, that's it. If you're not liking it, don't do it. And so when I'm not having fun with a game, I stop playing it. Why do I have so much fun in WoW? That I really can't tell you. Yeah. It's really hard to explain. I get really immersed in it. I love the world. I fell in love with the world really early on. And what kept WoW alive for me was Classic existing. If Classic didn't exist, there would not be World of Warcraft content on this channel. And I wouldn't be playing World of Warcraft at all. So the reason why I still play World of Warcraft is because I got really lucky to live in a time when we get to have Classic. Because otherwise, it wouldn't be happening, man. Wouldn't be playing the game today. Adam, in the past I was a part of an awesome guild who I'd raid with, and that's what like carried me through a lot of WoW. From basically Lich King on to BFA, I played with like the same group of people. Eventually, you know, through Legion and BFA, my work schedule got such I was traveling around the country teaching classes, and I couldn't really raid. And they'd tolerate me a little bit. I'd raid when I could, but I did the first raid tier of Battle for Azeroth was like my last raid tier that I took part in, actively took part. And then I couldn't do it anymore with the way my work schedule was at the time. So that was kind of when I stopped playing for a while. And yeah, and so there have just been times in my life when I played a lot. There have been times when I've taken breaks and walked away from the game.
Safe travels.
Ben, do I eat carefully since I work out? No, I eat everything since I work out. I was really skinny when I started working out. I was 6'4", 150 pounds. I had a really high metabolism, and I just didn't eat enough food, and I didn't exercise enough. And now that I work out, I've been working out for about 18 years. So now I just eat a lot of everything. That being said, I don't eat fast food and stuff like that. There's stuff I don't eat. But I don't go out of my way to eat like super healthy. No, I'd rather eat like a whole pizza than try to worry about like if it's healthy for me or not. I know I need the carbs, the meat, the cheeses for the calories. So, and kind of like everything in moderation, you know. I feel like everything in moderation is a lot better of a strategy than saying like I'm only going to eat X, Y, and Z because right now some website says X, Y, and Z is the best thing for me when in 6 months a different website will say the opposite is true. So I just kind of eat things in moderation. These days I care a lot less, you know. I'm going to be 40 this year, so the impetus of working out now is just to keep my body held together. I used to try to eat like 3,000 calories a day, because that's kind of what you need if you're trying to like gain lots of muscle and bulk up. You need to eat a crap ton. So I had a big phase in my life where I ate like that, you know, really worrying about like how much I was eating and at what rate and stuff, and I don't do that stuff anymore. Alright, we could probably go back down a little bit here and maybe fight some stuff worth XP, or... 35, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Let's head over to Sven's camp and we'll get that turned in. Adam, right now I work out at home. I take like breaks of going to the gym. I went to the gym for like a year very recently, and then I kind of got sick of it, and I get sick of being surrounded by all the people, and sometimes it's busy and I don't really care for that. So right now I work out at home. I've got dumbbells and a bench, and I have what I need to maintain what I got going on. And that's really all I'm interested in. What'll happen is, like, in a couple months I'll get bored of that and I'll go back to the gym for 6 months, you know. Tom, yeah, that's, man, time is crazy, man. Time will do that. I bet you don't feel super old, though. What I found is, like, I feel young. Like, I don't feel old. I know that the physical age keeps increasing, but I don't think, like, the mental age increases at the same rate, you know? Alright, we'll grab this. I don't know how far we're going to be able to push that anytime soon, but we'll hold on to it and see. Yeah, Patrick, body weight stuff is great. Especially if you don't have a lot of equipment, but you want to stay, like, in decent shape. Squats, push-ups, if you have a bar to do pull-ups. There's a lot you can do with just nothing but your body weight. You just have to do a little bit more of it, you know? Tom, you retired? Man, that's awesome, man. I like when people actually get to retire, especially people who just bust their ass their whole lives, working really difficult jobs. It's really nice when the system actually works and people can actually retire.
Be careful.
For me, I just don't know. I just wouldn't know what to do, so I just plan to keep doing the things I do for as long as I can. And if I'm 85 and I still get to keep doing what I do, then I'm gonna keep doing that. And if not, then I'll hope that I can in some way retire if I can't do what I love to do. Let's see, we have 6 minutes on the Hearthstone, and I would love to go back and just kind of turn everything in, so maybe we can go grind in the cemetery for a bit. Adam asked, have you tried Guild Wars 2? Yeah, I have. I talked about that a little bit earlier. I've tried Guild Wars 2. Basically, I bounced off of it. As happens with, like, when you try to get into an MMO that has so many years stacked on top of it, you know, like World of Warcraft is hard for new players to get into. Guild Wars 2 is the same. It's had so many years and so much added to it over time, and from what I was told over and over again, the gameplay and the difficulty and everything was going to change. I was going to spend X amount of hours leveling the character up, only to have every single thing about what I had to do in combat and how difficult combat was. That was all going to change on me. And I wasn't digging that, you know. It had a lot of cool things about it. I liked the open world stuff. I liked the objectives on the map. I like how leveling felt. I wish I had played the game in its vanilla state, because it was probably more challenging to level up then, and the combat probably felt a little bit more meaningful. But yeah, the combat in Guild Wars 2 felt for me like a lot of people say the combat feels in Retail WoW, which it felt quick, empty, and pointless. And on top of that, you only have a limited amount of abilities, which I'm not used to. So that made me feel like combat was a little bit more boring, was because my ability loadout was such that I just didn't feel like I had all the buttons I was used to having in an MMO, which it could be good if done properly. I bounced off of it. That's the simplest thing to say. Run to Goldshire for the quest turn-in. Okay. We are frozen in place. Okay, now we're good. Tom, Dark Age of Camelot? No, I missed that. I had guildies back in the day who played Dark Age of Camelot and swore by how awesome it was. But I never got to play. I missed out on a couple of games like that I feel like were like classic in their own right. Like, yeah, I just missed out, I think. Yeah, Adam, that might have been it. It might have been like, you know, Guild Wars 2 seems like a great game, but like, I got into WoW because I liked Warcraft 3 a lot. So that was that's what started my journey into World of Warcraft, was just like playing a crap ton of and loving the atmosphere and story built up in Warcraft 3. So just jumping into Guild Wars 2, it's like, yeah, okay, like I'm not attached to any of this. I don't know what the hell is going on. And when you're in that situation and the game isn't kind of unfolding for you in a natural way, you don't get sucked into the world. And for me, getting sucked into the world of an MMO is like how I want to engage with the MMO. I don't really care if it has like an A plot, B plot, you know, I just want the world to be such that I feel sucked into it. And I never got there with Guild Wars. It was all very unique and charming, but it just never really pulled me in. What is this quest over here? A flagon of Dwarven honeymead. What is this? GPU, Patrick, I'm using an RTX 3070, which is not like a super amazing graphics card, but it does what I need it to do. And it was what I could afford when I built this rig recently. So if I had waited till now to build my rig, I probably could have put a 4080 in it with what I had paid at the time, just because graphics card prices are way, way down. You can get like the top of the line graphics card 4090 for like 1600 bucks. And like a year and a half ago, 1600 bucks would have bought you like a middle range video card. Yeah, it is a 3070. I have an AMD processor, which I regret, but it's been okay. Next time I'll go Intel. When I first got this rig, there were some stuttering issues with the AMD and Windows 11. And if you watch some of my early vids from them, that's pretty pronounced, but they seem to have recently gotten it all taken care of, so that makes me happy. We don't have like 6 stutters per hour now. We have like 1 every couple of days instead. Yeah, 13. It's a really good card when all you really play is classic WoW. You know what I mean? Like, and I've checked out other games that I want to play. Like I've ran Elden Ring on it and a couple of other games, and yeah, it runs them well. You know, it's not a 4090, but it gets the job done on settings that I think look really good. What resolution am I in? I play in 1920 by 1080. I don't have a 1440 monitor, but I upscale the resolution and I put the videos out in 1440 so that they look good on YouTube. So if I was gonna play at 100%, this is 1920 by 1080, and if you look, you can see that it's just a little bit more pixelated like this. But the great thing is you can just kind of crank it up, so even if you're not actually playing in 4K or 1440, you up the render scale and it just sharpens things a lot.
I supply only the finest goods.
Oh, the Legend of Stelvin quest, okay. Deliver it to the Canal District in Stormwind. Now, when we deliver this to the Canal District, it spawns something, doesn't it? Is it another one of those, like, solo spirits we can just run away from?
See you around.
Alright, let's run up to Stormwind and we'll do this one really quick. Did it mark it? Yeah, it did mark it. Okay. Or did it? No, that's the Dwarven Fleet again. Canal, I don't remember if it's on this side. I think it's over here. Let's go see. I feel like, you know, if we're talking about retail WoW especially, I feel like even when rigs struggle to run retail WoW at high settings, it's not because of the rig, it's because of how technology has been just stacked and stacked and stacked on top of an ancient engine in Classic. Like, it's the same engine, and all they've done is stack stuff into it. And at some point, that gets difficult for any machine to render. And I feel like if they just remade the engine, just plopped it, same graphics, same look, just plop it in a new engine that handles everything better, then shit like spell effects and stuff would not slow down people's rigs the way that they can do today. Like when you're in a raid of 25 people and you have your spell effects all the way up and everything is going off at once, and like it seems like no matter what rig you have, like you're probably going to have a little bit of frame rate loss, or things are just going to be like unseeable for all the spell effects. JC, good afternoon. Thanks for coming by, hanging out with us. It was the same with Stalker, the modding pushed the engine to the extreme. Yeah, whereas like normally it might be fine, but then you stack things on top of it so much and then it just bogs it down. It would bog down any computer. What really sucks in WoW, especially in retail, is like you'll have your settings perfectly where you want them. Everything looks beautiful. It runs great while you're out questing. And then you go to the city. And then everything sucks. And they have a raid setting, so they have it set up so that when you pop into a raid, it can automatically switch to a different set of graphical settings. And let me tell you this, they need to have it have a setup so that you have city settings, so that when you go to a capital city, it knows that and switches you to your capital city settings. Because every time I go to the capital city, I just turn some things down so that I can just render people at the frame rate I want to while the city is full. Because the settings I use to explore the world beautifully, like they don't work in the city with everyone running around. So, and I feel like that shit is an engine problem. Like if the engine were more efficient and newer, then that stuff could be handled better. When we're talking about rendering a lot of people in the same area. Yeah, cities. They've always synced people's FPS. They always will sync it as long as we're on this engine. Like, if you're in a city and it's like modern city and retail, it's gonna sync your frame rate, unless you're literally running a 4090 and you're at like medium settings, and then you'll probably be fine. This is not where we need to be, I guess. Wait. Nope. Maybe the other side of the Canal District. No, JC, it's everybody's. If I go on medium settings in retail and go to Veldraken right now, I will probably be getting like 45 FPS and everything will look like crap. If I drop my shadows all the way down, sometimes that helps. Shadows are like one of the most impactful things you can adjust in the WoW game engine. So if you're having trouble rendering stuff, like check out your shadows, especially when we're talking about retail, and just bring your shadows down to like fair or good, and you will see a drastic increase in how well the game runs. And yeah, you lose some shadows, but you know what? The shadows in WoW, even with ray tracing on, they're just shadows. They're not that great anyway. They are what they are. They serve their purpose. And turning them down, to me, is worth it for like the better performance. And historically, that's what I've done when my rig has struggled. I just turn the shadows down. I don't know where this lady is in the Canal District. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, you're right. Vince, you're right. We had to go upstairs. There's a Foot Locker at the bed. We'll do that later. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I remember now. Yep. So, that's not going to happen right now. We will get it next time. Let's get all these quests turned in. The liquid detail can be resource intensive too. Yeah, you can definitely turn that down as well.
Well met.
Shadows, water textures, some spell effects get to be too much if you're in like a big raid. Definitely turning spell effects down can be good.
Light bless you.
But yeah, ultimately, a new engine would fix 80% of people's problems with like slowdown, frame rate loss, being in a raid and having all the spell effects go off and lagging.
You need something? Have a good one.
Vitaly, welcome, man. Things are going well. We're halfway through level 29.
Well
I
met.
don't know if we're gonna hit 30 today. We'll see how long the stream goes. And yeah,
Light bless you.
it's been good. Thanks for being here.
What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend.
Tim, welcome, man. Thanks for coming by.
King's honor, friend.
Heavy G, hello. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Here is the letter. Okay, so we're gonna get this letter transcribed. Does this start the Stitches event or no? Let's see.
Need help?
Let's see. I'm almost finished translating the notes. If you come back right away, yeah, here we go. The air grows heavy, as if a thick black curtain is drawn over the land. If what is written on this note is true, then Abercrombie's done something unspeakable. You better bring this translated note back to
For
Elo.
the Alliance.
Okay.
Well met.
Although the aid you gave to Abercrombie may have been motivated from kindness, your actions have doomed our town. Yeah, like, guys, and this is like a good life lesson taught to us by WoW. When you're doing something for somebody, you should try to make sure you know what you're doing first. Yeah. If you're helping someone, make sure you know what you're helping them with so that you don't help someone create a giant Stitches that's going to come and kill a bunch of people. You know? Just ask some questions. Like, what is this for?
Go with honor, friend.
And then you just kind of have to read them a little bit and decide maybe we don't help this creepy old person in the woods. Yeah. A faraway ranger, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming by. Everything's going good today. We are making some solid progress. Here's the Morladim quest. Do we even bother picking it up? How are we gonna do that with not having a party?
Have a good one.
Greetings. Be careful.
Blood Moon, thanks for asking. He's doing better today. Yeah, I think today is like the upswing. Everyone was able to get like a decent night of sleep last night for the first time in like 5 nights. Yep. For the first time since like last Friday night before tent camping. It's the first time we've gotten an actual night's sleep. So yeah, he's on the mend, I think. One or two more days and he'll probably be back to normal. We got Stitches incoming. Yeah. Maybe we did cause this. Auntie, I'm not going to try to solo Morladim. Maybe if we're like 8 or 9 levels above him, I would think about it. I'm pretty sure he summons ads too, and maybe even has a bubble of some kind that we have to eat through. Well then. In that case, with everything turned in, where do we want to go now? We're done with Redridge as far as I can tell. Lieutenant Fangor is not elite. We could possibly do that. We got Yowler back here. Not sure if it's worth trying to go back for him. And yeah, I mean, so let's cross Redridge off, like tentatively. We've just got the raptor and excavation stuff up in the wetlands we could do. That might get us to level 30, you know, if we do a lot of fighting in there. Now that being said, it's not like a totally safe area. So I'm a little bit ahead of Stranglethorn. I'd love to be level 31 before we start doing the Nesingwary camp. If we go there at level 30 even, I think that would be pretty low. But we're kind of running out of options. So yeah, it's like South Shore or Stranglethorn. South Shore or Stranglethorn. So yeah, I think what I'll do is like either way, let's put ourselves on a flight for Menethil Harbor because, well, we're either going to do some stuff in the wetlands or maybe we go to South Shore and do like some of the easy quests there. Can we do the turtle quest maybe for the soothing turtle bisque recipe? We could do that. And guys, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on a flight. I'm going to take a 5 to 7 minute break. I need to step away, get some coffee, bio, take care of a couple things. And yeah, I'll be back in 5 to 7 minutes. We will pop ourselves on this flight, and I would encourage you guys to, yeah, stretch your legs if you're sitting, get some water, hydrate, eat.
Be careful.
If you have to go, I understand. We'll see you another time, but yeah, I'll be back very shortly. See you guys then. Alright. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. So, do we want to go do this stuff, or can we catch a boat to South Shore? No, we don't catch the boat. We catch the boat to Theramore. So we'd have to run up through the Arathi Highlands. Maybe we could do that. There might be some stuff to like fight on the way. Bronze tube. Where? Where can I get it? Alright, let me look around for the bronze tube. What about over here? Weapons, armor, gunsmith. I got you, tactical. I'll look for it. I might need a building location. Inside the keep, okay. Alright, inside the keep. Here we go. Yeah, I see it now. Look, it like kind of blends in. But now I can see the little loot icon. Thank you, guys.
You need something?
Alright, let's see. Yeah. Well, I mean, we tried.
See you later.
We'll keep checking, but eventually we're going to outlevel the quest. So, that's going to happen in 2 more levels. Watch out for horde guards. Horde guards? You mean if I run through the Arathi Highlands? Check the vendor at the mill. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go out to the mill. We'll check the vendor there, and we'll also look for... Alex, you said there were shoulders there? That might be an upgrade for us. I mean, we're wearing gray shoulders, so yeah. Wood Rain Mud, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Are you guys still camping? Johnny Hoover, welcome, man. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I appreciate that. It's packing it up day. Yeah. Sometimes for me, even if I've had a lot of fun camping, packing it up day is like my favorite day. Because it means I will be going back to normalcy. And I think even when I have a fun time on a vacation, I'm always kind of happy to head home. I could fight these Murlocs, but we really don't have to. They're pretty low level. Could probably just run around most of them. Confo, hello man. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I appreciate you being here. Tom, 6 months in a giant tent city. Yes, I think that, especially depending upon like the circumstances that got you there, and if it was supposed to be a fun time or a necessary time, that would be definitely enough tent camping for me or maybe most people. Months in a tent city. It would probably be interesting, but I'm sure that it would get tedious or troublesome over time. Yeah? So maybe not like a fun time? Yeah, I mean forced tent camping is going to be worse than, you know, joyous tent camping that you decide to do. So, yeah. Miles of beach but no water. Yeah, that's like a kind of like an existential crisis type of situation. Miles of beach but no water.
Hi, how are you?
Alright, moment of truth. What are we gonna have here? We don't have what we need. Okay, let's check the other guy.
Be seeing you.
Well met.
Special goods. Well, today's special goods, unfortunately, just have a cloth belt. So yeah, if they had shoulders yesterday, somebody bought them out. Cloth belt today. Okay.
Safe travel.
Maybe a vendor we check every day to see like what they get in stock. Which would be interesting. I've never paid a lot of attention to the special goods vendors. So that could be something we need to do more of. Patrick, it's raining right now in Canada. Yeah, in Toronto. I think like that's really necessary right now, right? So that's awesome news. Detective Slaughter, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for being around. Let's see, Tactical. Our bracers are 2 stam, 3 strength. So I feel like they're pretty good, but they're level 19, so like everything we have is probably getting pretty crappy. It's almost like par for the course for hardcore, is that your gear kind of gets outdated. We have not been leveling up our blacksmithing very much. I kind of regret taking blacksmithing, so I have not really been working on it a lot. We can't make anything better than what we have, unfortunately. Let's turn in the breadcrumb here, but obviously we're not going to pick up any of the subsequent quests. These are all elite quests. But we can turn in this. It's 1,000 experience.
Hey, good. You got my attention.
And then yeah,
Watch
we
your back.
can't do anything else with these guys. I don't think. You know, if we were like 5 or 6 levels above them, maybe we could do it slowly, but Yeah. Yeah, Patrick, they said like 72 hours, I think, before there's like significant changes here to like the weather patterns or whatever's happening exactly to keep it kind of stuck where it's at before it really starts to shift out. But we're probably maybe closer to 48 now. That was 72 hours yesterday, so. I'm in Michigan, so we're like slightly affected. Like the air quality here is poor, but it's not like heinously bad like it is in places like New York, where it literally looks like you are on the surface of another planet because the sky is like pumpkin orange, which it's not supposed to be that way. Really bad in southern Ontario too. Yeah, I think it's really bad for lots and lots of people right now. We might want to try to get the first aid manual from Stromgard. I'm not sure if it's like easily accessible. I feel like it might be tucked away near some elites. Guys, maybe like a fact check here. Everything in here is elite, right? In Classic era, all of Stromgard is elite. JC, I saw that people were wearing masks outside, and that's definitely what you should do, because even in places like Tokyo and a lot of Chinese cities, just because of the pollution from cars and stuff, like people have worn masks there historically. Because like the air quality is bad, and when the air quality is bad, you need to filter it. And the easiest way to do that, and the cheapest way, is just to wear a mask outside. Yeah, it's all terrible. It's like, it's a really big reminder, like we live on this planet and it's very, very fragile, and stuff can happen that can totally upset like the places we try to inhabit and make those places like uninhabitable. Let's go get the flight point so we don't forget to do that. You had a guildie say they were able to get it? Yeah, I think it's inside the walls of the keep, and we could pop our heads in, but I don't know, maybe not at this level. Let's wait to check it out. I'm gonna do a little bit of research on it and see if it's something we can get in hardcore or if it's gonna be like a no-go. I feel like people level up first aid, so it must be something that we can do at some level. At some level we must be able to safely get in there and get it. I should probably just take the road here. That would be like super smart of me, because what do we got? We got level 30. You know, that's not bad. Huh. I'm actually kind of surprised we don't have like a raptor kill quest for the level 30 raptors. The traveling mob of undead on the road. Yeah, that's right, the courier. The undead courier. Yeah, we gotta be careful right here, because we got lots of raptors and stuff around that would love to kill us. I'm looking at the spider right here, hoping that he kind of stays away. And then we're gonna get to the road. But we'll keep our eyes out for the courier. Because of course, like every time you want to find the courier, like you won't find the courier, but when you're trying to survive and not get killed, that would be the time that you run right into the courier. The Horde has, yeah, that's right, Tom. The Horde has the Raptor kill quest. Totally unfair. Yep. You saw somebody die, Dan, because of the courier? I wonder about that, because I'm like, listen, if the courier were here, I'd be able to see them. You know, if they're behind me, the view distance is such I could see them. If they're ahead of me, I should see them before they could aggro. You would think you'd be able to see them, and maybe that's not right. With Stitches, we saw Stitches every single time he was coming at us. We were able to see him and mark him just fine. He never kind of like snuck up on us. Except for that one time when he was running through the woods like a crazy person. So I'm kind of thinking that even if the courier was approaching, they don't run. They're not running on mounts or anything. They're walking at like a normal speed. I feel like we'd be able to see him. You know, I could scoot off the road a little bit just to play it a little safe. But if I scoot off the road too much, I won't get a view on him. That could put us in a worse spot. I think Fosric travels along the road kind of, but yeah, in the open area, probably right where I'm at, you know. But Fosric, isn't he non-aggressive? Isn't he like a big old elite that's non-aggressive that you can tag him, but he's not just going to attack you, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's different in Classic Era. But I didn't think that Fosric was aggressive. Now the Undead Courier, they can go all the way to Hillsbrad, right? We could run into them here, but we could also run into them in Hillsbrad. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Auntie, we're definitely looking for the Horde people. I think that we're good. I don't think they're going to sneak up behind us, so really the only option is us running into them. And I think we'll see them pop up on the road in time to mark them and get off the road. The courier does go all the way to Terran Mill. Okay. That's good to know. We got a tin vein up here. Dare I go up here for a tin vein? No, there's elementals over there. I am not doing that. I don't really want to run off the road too much here either. I feel like there are like level 32 and 33 wildlife enemies to fight right here. And I don't want to aggro a bunch. Let's see. Level 26. Actually, that's not bad. Tactical, sometime in the level 30s, there's going to be an ogre in a cave. That drops an awesome two-hander mace. Speed 4.0, that'll be the slowest thing we've seen. Oh, speaking of that, we did get this axe, which we're not really sure if it's better. Don't get, yeah, no, I won't go for any of those veins of ore that are just in places that we just shouldn't go. Yeah. Let's skill up the axe a little bit on some of these guys that are green. Yeah, Alex, it's weird because the questing axe, like, you know, they don't want the Alliance people here to level 30, but yeah, a lot of the stuff is lower than that because the Horde comes here as early as level 23. They just have no Alliance quest here that are, like, in that level range, and they have all these enemies that, like, we don't really get to fight for quests, like the bears, the spiders. I wish there were some more, like, some more quests for the Alliance to do. That's the kind of stuff that I'd love to see in, like, a Classic Plus type of situation. I'd love to see more quest lines added to existing hubs. Especially in places like this where, like, if we had some level 25 to 30 quests here, that would be really awesome for, like, the leveling. And just, like, you wouldn't have that feeling of running out of stuff to do. But some people would contest that the feeling of running out of stuff to do is part of Classic. So it's really hard to say if people would want that or not. Yeah, we're almost maxed out with it. It's at this point, it's not really a big deal. Yeah. If we were doing two-handed maces, then yeah, we'd probably need all the help we can get getting it skilled up. But the axes are almost there. I'm fine with the seals being so short. My problem is that the blessings are 5 minutes, so I've started to treat the blessings like a combat buff. Instead of trying to have like 100% uptime on might, I just try to throw it up when we're in combat, treat it more like a battle shout. Because of the way the seals work, because you know, you're judging it and it's gone anyway, so like in classic era, you really don't need it to be up for more than 30 seconds if you're going to be judging it every time you can, which typically we judge it on cooldown, so it's only ever up for 10 seconds anyway. Yeah, not having a 1,000 needles option is kind of a problem. We could get down to the shimmering flats, but we'd have to jump off the great lift and bubble and just hope that when we smack into the ground, everything is fine. And it's a little bit risky. You know, I bubble jumped many times in my life, and I don't think I've ever gotten killed by a misclicked bubble jump. But you know, I think about like that being the way a hardcore character goes out would be pretty awful. So I don't know if we're going to try to get down into 1,000 needles. The thing is, we kind of have to eventually. Because eventually we're going to have to go to Tannerus. But at that point, we might be more resistant to any guards at the top of the lift. And we might not have to bubble jump. We might be able just to ride the lift down and like take some hits by the NPCs that are up there if we have to. Shimmering Flats is only good for 33 and up. Yeah. Right, exactly. So, it'll be a little while before we go there. Yeah, Turkting says, I've never died from a bubble jump. Famous last words. Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly why we're not going to do it, right? Because, like, I have never died from a bubble jump. That means this would be the perfect time. Since I've never died before, statistically, I'm at the highest chance to die now. And every time I bubble jump and I don't die, I just increase the probability that I will die next time. So Jinxie says the NPC doesn't hurt at all. Yeah, somebody said that too. I believe you. We'll just wait till we're like level 33 or 34 when we can rightly go down into the Shimmering Flats. Bubble jumping is hardcore. Bubble jumping is stupid in hardcore. That's what you meant to say. Stupid in hardcore. Yeah. The Bubble Jumpers. A hardcore guild name. I like that a lot. The Bubble Jumpers. You should grab that one up, man. Because if you don't, now someone else is going to. Joe asked, would I play Hardcore BC? Yeah, if Hardcore BC were a real thing, I would definitely play Hardcore BC. Hardcore BC would solve some of the problems I have, because in BC, a lot of the elite villages were no longer elite villages, which kind of sucked for like the core game when you can group up, but for a hardcore run, being able to do those elite areas like Pyrewood Village and having them no longer be elites would help out a lot. Because we're losing a lot of quest experience by never being able to group up and do the elite quests in every zone that we go to. So yeah, and then of course, you know, we get to play a Blood Elf or a Draenei, which would be great too. And I feel like BC was still classic enough with its mechanics and its class design that it's still valid. Alright, let's grab the flight point first thing we do. Jinxie, I still have immersive videos going up, man. We're doing the Tauren Warrior in Northrend. I actually put up a Tauren Warrior video yesterday and one today. And I'll have another one going out tomorrow. And I plan to get at least one of those Tauren Warrior videos out every day. For the people that prefer the more immersive content, the recorded stuff. So yeah, I have no plans to drop the recorded stuff. It's just that we got to a point where we're doing the hardcore stuff. And for me, hardcore works really well while streaming. And I really, really enjoy it. So going forward, all of our hardcore stuff will be streamed, but other series will probably be pre-recorded.
Greetings.
And then if we get to a point on the Warrior where we can do like 5-mans, heroics, and raids, I'd like to just stream that stuff too. But while we're leveling up in Northrend and doing all the quest stuff, all that's going to be recorded immersive content.
Safe travels.
Do we want to do anything here in reality? Down the coast, or yeah, the Soothing Turtle Bisque. I don't even know if I want to do down the coast. Isn't that a Murloc quest? Fin Hunters, or Fin Tide, okay, and Fin Oracles. Yeah, this is either Murlocs or Naga. I think it's Murlocs first. Let's do the Soothing Turtle Bisque. They're non-aggressive turtles. They're level 30 or 31. They might be a little bit beefy and have a lot of HP, but we should be able to do it.
How are you?
Tim says, either way, it's fish monsters. Yes. Yep. And, you know, the Murlocs run. I think the Naga run. I think there are Naga casters. There's the Oracles probably heal themselves. So I'm not in a super rush to deal with Murlocs or Naga. So let's work on some turtles. Weston, hello, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Yeah, Joe, I started a human DK for like a brief second, and then I just really didn't like it, and it went nowhere. I didn't feel like I was ever going to be good at the class. I felt like to be good at the class, I'd have to do like a lot of what I call studying, which I don't really want to do when I'm like learning a class. If I'm not learning it organically, I kind of think like maybe I won't be good at this. And I really wasn't having fun with it. The Death Knight introduction storyline is like not really my cup of tea. So even just getting through that was a struggle. There are no turtles down here. And we have to, well, we have to go up this hill. Let's go up the hill and get kind of away from South Shore a little bit. And maybe there will be more turtles up that way. Auntie, I have never seen a dragon patrolling in Hillsbred, so if I did come across a dragon, that'd be kind of cool. Because yeah, 20 years, I don't think I've ever seen a dragon here. So if there is one, I want to know about it. Yeah, Joe, we'll probably do some heroics on the warrior. Once he gets to max level, yeah, probably. Unless I'm just not digging it at all, then we won't, but right now I feel like we probably will. I'll be more inclined, like I always say to this question, I'll be more inclined to do heroics once we have the looking for dungeon finder actually in the game. So yeah, in the future, at some point, we will be doing heroic plus dungeons for funsies. Just probably not anytime super soon, you know. Yeah, when I do 5-mans and stuff, I'll probably just stream it, you know. That way, if any of you guys play, you have the option to come along on the run and stuff. I think that'd be super cool. Weston, we're using this two-handed axe here, Brutal War Axe of the Whale. Mainly for its like slow weapon speed. We also have the sword, which might be a little bit better damage-wise. Like if we pop this on, all of our numbers go up. So I do kind of feel like the sword is the way to go right now, but the axe is a little bit slower, which I guess we have a higher chance to get procs off the slower speed. But yeah, mainly, oh man, this turtle is just wrecking our face. What in the actual crap? Tom, I'm not playing retail right now, man. I don't have a main on retail. I don't know when or if I'm going to go back to retail. I tried 3 different times to enjoy the content in 10.1, and I didn't like it any time I tried. Objectively, I can realize that retail is in a really great spot right now. They've fixed a lot of problems that the players have. The gearing system seems really good for people who want to engage in that cyclical loop of like endlessly improving their gear. So yeah, if you like the endgame loops, like if you're into the loops of endgame and you like getting on and grinding world quest and upgrading your gear and stuff, or you're in a guild that raids, does mythic 5-mans, then like retail's probably a lot of fun for you. For a solo player that doesn't really care about leveling their gear up, who doesn't really want to get on and grind their renown, it doesn't really offer me anything, so I don't play retail right now. And I don't know when or if I would go back to retail. I don't rule it out, because every once in a while I just want to give it a chance, you know. But I wasn't having any fun with it. I wasn't getting immersed. I didn't really enjoy the A-plot of the story they were telling. Yeah, just a lot of reasons why I bounced off of it. To me, the endgame stuff is too obviously a treadmill. It used to be less obviously a treadmill, and I think when I was in a guild of people and I cared about the progress of the group and having fun, then it was a little bit more obscured. I was doing it, I was grinding stuff and getting gear and doing the endgame stuff for like the greater good of the group, so that we could progress and see new content in the raids. And then as a solo player, I don't give a crap. Who cares about my gear? You know, who cares about my gear playing solo? I don't care about it. I don't really want to farm crest or 15 things to turn into another currency to swap with another currency to upgrade my gear score 5 points and then do that 17 times. The currency bloat like got to me right away. One of the first negative things I encountered upon trying to play 10.1 was just all the different currencies. When I feel like I need to have a notebook to write out the currencies and write out what they turn into and why I might want to do that, then we've already crossed the line where like I don't want to track that kind of stuff. It isn't enjoyable to me. Yeah. But yeah, like retail is good for retail people, I think, but I think a lot of people like me, we just bounce off of it. It's not the Warcraft that we knew anymore, even though it could be something good on its own. Mr. Wheels, hey man, how's it going? Turkton, you have an interesting story about this quest where we're killing non-aggressive turtles for their meat. the drop rate for the turtle meat is higher off the ones in the shimmering flats. I totally believe that. Yeah. I totally believe that. Patrick, on the Paladin, I prefer the two-hander. Yeah. I like the sword and shield aesthetic, like, as far as, like, how a class feels. I like sword and board a lot, but for gameplay right now, doing the hardcore challenge, I like putting out as much damage as I can. And just trying to kill things quick so that they damage us less. It's like a trade-off. We could do sword and shield, we would probably go a lot slower and be just a little bit safer. But yeah, I prefer the big two-handers right now on the Paladin. Mr. Wheels, sorry man. I hope you get better. Whether it's like a physical thing or like a mental or emotional thing. I just try to remind myself when like I'm feeling bad and something's going on that like it's gonna pass or it's gonna change, you know, things probably aren't always gonna be the same way they are right now in this moment. Whitney, yeah, some people have been telling me there's a big dragon possibly up here, and I've never seen it, so like I kind of want to go see it, but yeah, at the same time I'm not gonna go much farther. I don't want to get killed. Yeah, we're probably at the threshold of what we want to go here, and the turtles feel like they're getting buffer too, the further we go north. Just a sore throat, yeah, yeah, that sucks, but like at least it's not something worse, right? Yeah, my 8-year-old boy's been really sick for the past few days and had a high fever, sore throat and stuff, and I kind of try to tell him the same thing, like this is not gonna last, you know, this isn't your life, it's miserable right now, but it's gonna change, it's gonna get better. The crazy thing is, and I haven't really been paying attention to this, we don't have any turtle meat yet. That's kind of the crazy part, you know? We haven't killed that many, but we've killed a handful. And we got nothing to show for it. And how do the turtles in the desert have more meat on them than the turtles here in the river? It doesn't really make sense. Your 5-year-old was sick last weekend. Yeah, and so then you got sick. That's the worst. I think I'm going to be lucky with what my kid had. Like, I don't think I'm going to get it because it was mostly a fever. And usually, like, things that give kids fevers, adults don't get the fever. So I think I'm going to get lucky with this one because it's been 5 days and I don't feel any kind of illness creeping on. So I think this was just one of those kid things that it was a really high fever and then kind of a sore throat as that went on. But yeah. I probably shouldn't back up this hill too much. We're probably going to get, like, one of the bears to come down. It said I was facing the wrong way. I looked like I was facing the right way. To be fair, the camera angle revealed that we probably should have been able to get a swing off. Oh, inventory's full. Well, okay then. Okay then. There's 2. Now, we didn't leave anything on these guys, did we? Or did we leave all the meat behind? Let's find out. Nope, that's a clamshell. Let's go back to town. We got a full inventory apparently. That's not going to let us loot any quest items for sure. Auntie, do you think he could catch up to us? If I'm running south, do you think the dragon would like run us down? I think we're safe. I think now that I'm heading south, I think we're okay. It's gonna eat this guy first, right? He's gonna be the first person it eats. And so we'll hear his screams and the crunching of bones, and then when we hear that, then we'll hoof it, you know. Yeah, I'm not digging these fights with the turtles. I'm not digging it at all. They have way too much HP. We are not chunking through it at all. We're having to do a full heal every single time. Okay, yeah, let's head back. We got, you know, it's hard not to kill these guys as we go, but the full inventory thing is really bothering me. JC, yeah, the turtle must make for like a really, really tanky hunter pet. They have so much HP, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, we have to heal again here. Absolutely insane. Operation High Jump, I'm doing well today. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, the whole family was able to get a full night's sleep last night. My son's sickness is receding, he's getting better, so we got a full night's sleep, and I am feeling pretty good today. Thanks for being here, man. Hugo, thank you for stopping by the stream, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Yeah, the fact that some of these guys drop two meats kind of makes up for the fact that a lot of them drop nothing. Yeah, that was a safe jump. Yeah, we're fine. Level 31, this guy's probably going to kick the crap out of us. We'll have to heal at least twice. Let's save the stun, and we'll tactically use the stun when we want to get the heal off. Mr. Wheels, enjoy dinner, man. Take care. Have a good evening. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Alex, are you talking about the green words in the combat text? Like seal of command fades when we judge the seal? Yeah, that's in it's in floating combat text. I'll open it up in a second and show you. I changed it so that I could see when things like Blessing of Might fall off and when our auras fade. It's a setting actually in the combat text, so you don't have to have weak auras to tell you when like blessings are gonna fall off. When the blessing falls off, you'll get prompted, and all that stuff is in interface options, combat. You enable the floating combat text and show fading auras. There's a lot of stuff in here that you could do. We're showing the reactive spells and abilities as also, so when you have procs that go off, it'll pop up and tell you. You know, like for warriors, like Overpower, Execute, it'll pop up in yellow text and show you. Right here, Seal a Command ticked off, so the fading auras told us that. I also have the show low mana and low health warning on. So yeah, but there's lots of stuff you can do, it turns out, to like let you know when stuff is running out, and you don't even have to have an add-on. Yeah, I was trying to get out of using an add-on, so a little bit of digging in the combat text, I kind of thought like there must be something that we can enable in the combat text, and sure enough there was. Brutal War Axe of the Bear, another two-handed. This has strength on it, okay. We gotta pick this up, we gotta see. Spider Ichor can go. Let's have a little look. Yeah, okay, yep. 3.6, yep. Okay. So now let's do the character sheet comparison. So melee attack 135, power 305. If I go back to the sword. Why is... Okay, someone needs to be able to tell me this. Why is the sword better? Why is the sword better? The sword has 8, so the 2 strength is making that much of a difference, or am I just reading this character sheet wrong? So when I'm looking at the character sheet with the sword equipped, my attack power is 150, my power is 311, damage 118 to 141. The damage went up here, but the melee power went down. But the damage, I guess, goes up. It's weird. I'm trying to like actually read the character sheet, and that's not working out for me. I probably just need to trust that the weapon here is an upgrade, and I probably just need to leave it at that, right? Is it because of the specialization that's making up for so much? Because we have the human sword and maces? Like that seems like too much. Yeah, if we're getting all that power from that racial to the point where it's making the sword powerful, that's really something. Okay, I guess. But it does say the damage range is greater. We have a bigger damage potential with the axe. The sword is 118 to 141. The axe is 136 to 167. I argue that the axe is actually better. I'm gonna wear the axe. We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, I get it. We have the skill boost with the swords, but it's crazy to think that that could be so impactful with the number differences that I'm seeing. Like skills with swords and two-handed increased by 5. That's accounting for so much. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it is. We're gonna wear the sword for a bit and just see how we feel about it. Or the axe, rather. We're gonna wear the axe for a bit. The sword can hang out in the bags, and if we start to feel like we're just doing less damage, maybe we'll go back to it. Alright, 5 out of 10. Okay, okay. Alright, so we're doing like 53 to 63 on a white swing. We're doing like 70 to 90 on our judgment. Let's put the sword back on. And let's try to see if any of that changes. We would need to find at least one more turtle as like an okay test, so maybe we're gonna have to wait. Let's go sell everything, yeah. And we'll worry about that in a second. There's only a 2 strength difference. Like, the sword has 8 strength, the axe has 6. If it is such a big difference, then I mean, that's awesome, I guess. It's very impactful. I guess I just wouldn't expect 2 strength to have such a significant difference, while this still says that like the range of damage is higher on the axe, but the melee power is not. We're not going to sell the turtle meat. Let's sell the old axe that has no strength on it. We'll get that one out of the inventory. Yeah, that's not great. What else?
Have a good one.
If you guys really think the sword is just better, we can keep the sword, I guess. We'll just wait until we get something so significant that it's quite obvious that it's an upgrade. Or maybe we just never use axes. Maybe we just can't use axes on a human. Maybe we have to find a mace or a sword to make it worth it. There were pants on the vendor? Yeah, I didn't even look. You know what? My brain has basically trained itself in WoW that like the vendors have nothing useful on them. And that's one of like the last remaining habits of like modern WoW that I haven't overcome yet, is, as you guys have found out, like I don't look at what the vendors have at all, really. Unless I'm looking for a water or food or a specific item.
Can I help you?
I don't look, because I assume it's all crap, right? But that's not always true, because look, this is not going to be better, but it's not crap. We have 7 strength, 3 edge, and 3 stam on what we have. We got shoulders, though. The shoulders are going to be really good, so thanks for driving me back here. Let's pick those up, and we'll be happy with that. I appreciate that. That's super awesome. Yeah, hey, that's great. Stam and spirit, I'll take it. Awesome, thank you. Alright, back to the turtle killing. Yeah. We got some decent shoulders now. Yeah, we no longer have gray shoulders. If only we could get like a helm to drop. I'd love for just a random helmet to drop. Although I think like helmets start dropping at what, level 20, level 25? You can get like some gray helmets. Sorry guys, I realize my music has been way down. Yeah, we must have been in Stormwind the other day. That's what it was. None of you guys told me how quiet the music was. Shame on me, but shame on you too. Let me know if that's too loud, but I just realized it's really quiet and I prefer to have it up. For like immersion and stuff, you know? Corpse of the Dark Spear. That's sad. Mm-hmm. Patrick, yeah, as somebody pointed out earlier, Hillsbrad is just totally different after the Cataclysm. It's just a horde area. We don't think that the Alliance even has questing to do here, because the undead control it. Guys, you know, we just talked about getting a headpiece, and then we get a headpiece. Is that a little bit weird to anybody else to talk about getting a headpiece to drop, and then 45 seconds later to have a headpiece drop? You guys don't think that's like totally strange at all? You know, like you ask for something from the universe and you kind of know what it would feel like to get it, and then this time we got it immediately. I should have been more specific, and I should have asked for a piece of mail to drop. I should have been very specific, because the universe was like, oh, you want a headpiece? Oh, I can do that. That's probability. Here's a headpiece for you. It's cloth. It has int and spirit. But you said headpiece, so there you go. So guys, when you ask for stuff, you know, in retail or in life or from God or from the universe, be very specific about what you want. Otherwise, your first helmet will be the Sage's Circlet of the Owl. Which actually looks kind of cool on us, and we're going to wear it for a bit. It's better than nothing. I did manifest them, and I'm regretful that I wasn't more specific, yeah. But hey, it looks cool, so let's go with it. I didn't know the mountain lions could go in the water. Okay, moving on. I do like the headband look more than most of the helmets in the game. We probably won't actually display many helmets. I'll probably hide most of them after a while. Because for the most part, helmets in vanilla look atrocious unless you're getting into like tier gear and stuff. But this one looks cool. Yeah, the headbands are nice, but the headbands are usually cloth items. Sometimes you get like a male coif, like a hooded male looking helmet. Those look pretty cool. But by and large, the helmets don't look that great. Manifest a blue weapon next. I should start thinking about stuff like that a lot more. I should bend more of my just idle thoughts to drops, because we fight enough enemies just randomly that I feel like we could be getting some better drops. So yeah, I'm gonna start putting it out there. I do need a blue weapon to drop at some point to make this run the best run ever. So I'm just gonna think every day about like just getting an awesome blue, or even like an epic. Like some kind of whirlwind axe type situation or something, you know? Just some awesome weapon drop. Tactical warrior, but I picked body type A for this one so that I wouldn't be Wonder Woman, so that people wouldn't get upset. I'm so glad I went with body type A, because if I didn't, I'd have to deal with like people popping into the stream and just asking me what are my reasons for going with body type B. That would be like the only question I get to answer all day. I can't get up the hill. Come on, you can do it. I don't want to round this side. We're going to have to fight the Spoder. There we go. We could go up to the north again. I kind of wish the respawns were cranking out a little bit more so we can stay down here since, you know, dragons be abound. LS, would I ever consider leveling another priest as discipline? Probably not. We leveled Athos as discipline back in back when Classic, around the time Classic first came out. He was my second character, I think. And yeah, we leveled him to level like 54 or so as discipline, and it was really survivable. The great thing about Disc is that like we were basically invincible and we had good like mana regen because we went into Spirit Tap. But if I leveled the priest again, I'd probably go Shadow. Yeah. I don't think I would do discipline again. Just because we went on that journey once, you know? Trucking with Ghost, you got a new gaming laptop to play WoW Classic? That's awesome, man. And the great thing about WoW Classic is like it's not very hardware intensive. So like you get a decent gaming laptop and like you're good to go. I wish I had a gaming laptop so I could like kind of take this show on the road sometimes. But I am stuck right where I'm at with this. I tried to, yeah, you say, I tried Shadow, I think. Yeah, level 40, then Shadow. I tried Shadow on that Priest for a little bit, and I hated it. And I don't know why. I think it was just because I played Disc for so long that suddenly, for me, like, suddenly trying to play Shadow, like, didn't feel good. Because it was so different than how I'd been playing. I felt like we had to drink more, like we burned through more mana. Power Word Shield was suddenly very weak because I had taken, like, improved Power Word Shield. So that probably is a good time to do it, but when I did it, I didn't like how suddenly everything felt different, and I didn't necessarily feel stronger from like a DPS perspective. That was the big problem. Did I loot the last turtle? I thought I did, but I might have got distracted. Yeah, I think we got him. If that was ours. If that's the turtle you're talking about, and not the turtle 5 minutes ago. And if not, we'll probably get it on our southern run, and when we run back to town, we'll probably still see the body if I missed loot. So we'll be going back the same way. Assidious for official hardcore, I think I'm going Shaman as well. I think we're going to do a Tauren Shaman when the official hardcore Blizzard servers come out. Trucking with Ghost, thank you, man. That's super generous of you. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. I'm just gonna let this druid do his thing. I think he wants to be like a little bit competitive. He's gonna run up here maybe and try to tag this one. That's cool. Yeah, you go ahead, man. I'm not gonna bother with that. We'll just keep running here. We'll get him when we can. LS probably balanced druid. Yeah. I think if you had to say, is there a spec you would never try to level exclusively in hardcore, especially like we're talking hardcore, then that answer would probably be balanced druid. Yeah. And that's like, I'm taking out all the healing specs, so I would probably never level in hardcore necessarily as a full healing spec, just because that's going to get really, really slow, even though you probably have a lot of survivability. So firstly, I would probably never level as like a Resto Shaman or a Resto Druid or a Holy Priest. So taking those out, I would say of the DPS specs, I would probably never level as a Balanced Druid. They get Boomkin though, and yeah, then I have to look like a Boomkin for the rest of the journey. That's part of why I won't do it. Yeah. If they just left me alone and let me be my character, I would consider trying it out. I don't like being stuck in shapeshifted forms, and my least favorite shapeshifting form is the Boomkin, because, come on. Come on. Assidious, you ask, what's the plan after 60? I don't make those kinds of plans, brother. I do not make those kinds of plans. If we're talking theoretically, I don't know. I might, you know, theoretically, since we're going to have official hardcore servers, I might try some hardcore raids, because if the character gets killed off, then, you know, not really a big deal. We'll go again on the hardcore realm. I don't think I'd do another run on Bloodcell Buccaneers unless it was going to be a really long time before we got official hardcore, but they said this summer. Summer is from June 20th to September 20th, just about, so I don't think we'd have time to get this character to 60 and then make really any headway on another tune. It's going to take us like 150 to 200 more hours to get to 60. I know it looks like we're halfway there. You know what I mean? Like, you look at it and you're like, you're level 30, you're halfway there. We're not. We're like a third of the way there, wouldn't you guys say? You guys have leveled a lot of classes in vanilla. If we're at level 30, we're like 1/3 of the way through the journey, right? Umkin out of mannequin. Yes, exactly. Levels 1 to 10 on the druid showed me that I would not do a boomkin. Because 1 to 10 was all about wrath, 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 drink. Wrath, 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 drink. Wrath, 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 drink, drink, drink. And that wasn't really fun. Yeah, we almost didn't continue the playthrough. That was the first hardcore playthrough that I thought I was going to stop because I hated it. It might have been the first of any playthrough I've done that I thought I was going to stop in the first 10 levels because I just couldn't play it anymore. We pushed through, and we got bear form, and then I started to love the druid. Alright, we are probably way past safety for like dragon kind, right? This is some kind of weird troll ruin that I've only seen running by. Do I think official hardcore will be successful? It feels better with the community instead of... But the community will be involved because Blizzard is actually talking to those community people. And supposedly they're having conversations that are going to allow them to do the right thing. So it could be really good. Obviously, like, it's Blizzard, so they do have a chance to mess it up. Absolutely. But I think it's going to be good. I think that they're finally at a point, if they're doing the stuff they're doing in retail, where they're actually having conversations and they're actually listening to the community the way they're listening for retail, then I think we can hope, you know, reasonably that the hardcore servers are going to be fun. That people are going to choose to play on them. And that there's not going to be any kind of stupid shenanigans surrounding it. That's the dream, you know? LS, you're leveling a balanced druid on a classic hardcore right now, but it's pretty rough. It's mostly moonfire and thorns and melee attacks. That sounds so awful. Yeah, I'm sure you have to work melee attacks and stuff in to like not go every pull, which sounds absolutely terrible. Yeah, I mean, if I were you, I'd start off, I'd do my moonfires or whatever, and I'd probably just have to go bear. Guys, look, look, look. There he is. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Now let's get the heck out of here. Let's get out of here. Can we watch this play out from a safe distance? I think we can. Oh my god. What you never want to see. A dragon twerking in the middle of a lake. Yeah. No. No, no, no. Okay. I think he's resetting. Oh gosh. Yeah. Hey, you guys told me it was there. I had never seen it before in my life. We did some safe, accidental exploration and we got to see it. So yeah, I don't think anybody died. I think everybody got away. So that's cool too. That being said, I think it's fair time that we head back down to the south, right? And kind of get out of this kill box that we're in. Assidious S, are warriors really OP in the endgame? I'm not sure, Assidious. I've never done endgame stuff in classic era, you know what I mean? We did SOM, Season of Master, we got to level 60, and I just couldn't really be bothered to do any of the endgame stuff. If you listen to Asmongold, he'll tell you that warriors are super overpowered, and I'm inclined to believe Asmon. Because he would definitely know. And yeah, I think warriors are certainly I think all of their specs are kind of overpowered in classic era. If you're playing them right, you got good gear and stuff like that, you know. But from personal experience, I really couldn't tell you. I enjoy the warrior a lot. It's one of my favorite classes. But as far as like how competitive is it in the endgame stuff that's in classic era, I don't really know. I think Asmon's ego is probably about the right size. Asmon has like a little bit of a character that he is on his stream, but Asmon's an incredibly intelligent individual. He's super smart. He usually knows what he's talking about. JB, I don't know how good he is at gameplay. When I think about Asmund, I like listening to the guy talk and state his opinions. I like listening to him explain complicated stuff and talk about a wealth of different subjects. I think he's an incredibly smart person that has a lot of like good takes on things. No, I don't watch any Lazy Peon. And I don't really watch other people play hardcore WoW. I barely keep abreast of like WoW news and stuff like that by watching occasional videos, but I don't have a lot of time to watch other people on the journey and stuff like that. I wish I did sometimes, but yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I like to do in my life, and if I'm watching other people play video games, I'm usually watching them play games that like I'm not gonna play, like single player stuff, if I'm gonna spend my time watching people play video games. We need one more meat. Oh man, it'd be great to get it. I don't think it's gonna get us the level, but it's gonna get us close. I kind of want to hit level 30 today, but part of me doesn't want to push for it, so I'm trying to gauge like if I'm pushing right now. We're going into hour 3 of the stream. I appreciate you guys all being here for it, and I'm trying to think if I really want to push for 30 today or just tackle it really easily tomorrow. D-Domino, watching me start streaming got you to start your hardcore journey? Hey, that's awesome, man. Yeah, me starting to stream right now was accidental. I just thought I was testing OBS and getting everything linked to my YouTube so that in the future when I wanted to stream I was going to be able to. And then a lot of you guys jumped in to the chat and we started playing, and then we really never looked back with the hardcore run. Sometimes I find that like when you want to do something, if you're capable, you should just start doing it, even if you have things about it that you're like not really secure with or you're not super sure. That if it's a low risk, you should just make yourself do it and see how it goes. So that's kind of what I started to do once I saw you guys were interested in watching the streams. So I still had like insecurities about it and things I wasn't sure about, but I've just kept doing it and I've enjoyed it more and more every time I've been here with you guys. It's been really great. I'm happy that I've gotten some of you guys to try hardcore. I think it's a really worthwhile mode of gameplay that I don't think a lot of people think of on their own. I did some hardcore runs like a long time ago. I think it was before BC or maybe during BC. I did a couple of hardcore runs that weren't with the add-on. I made up some rules for myself and did it. But yeah, doing it here on Bloodsail Buccaneers and having so many other people in the community doing it at the same time is like really special, I think. Every time you start a character, it feels like launch night of the game, you know? D-Domino, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for saying so. Sometimes I don't know if the things I say are even remotely intelligent or if I'm just emotionally shooting my mouth off. Probably a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. I think sometimes people listen to me and they feel like I'm articulate, so they think that I'm intelligent too, and that's not always the case. There are some things that I'm intelligent about, but there's so many things that I'm not. And the ability to sound like you know what you're talking about does not confer you actual intelligence, unfortunately, in my case. Still one more meat. One more meat. We'll get it. We're gonna get it. And it looks like we are going to have to go back up the hill. The low drop rate makes competition for these things like pretty high. Everyone has to kill so many just to get the quest done. Even if there's only like 2 or 3 of us working on it, they just get farmed out super fast. They're spawning back in at like a medium rate, you know, we've seen stuff spawn in a lot faster. So this is like a medium respawn rate. We could really use the high respawn rate. I'd love to see the respawn rate on non-aggressive mobs especially just be cranked way up because they're non-aggressive. So them respawning on you, near you, next to you isn't going to be negatively impactful, so why not just have them respawn a lot faster on the hardcore server? And that's been an interesting thought too, like when they make changes and bake new rules into the hardcore server, will they address things like respawn rates of named guys? Because right now, named guys are on like a 2 or 5 minute timer that's like static. Whereas world enemies seem to be on a variable slider depending on how quickly they're being killed, how many people are in the area, etc. And I really wonder if they'll just they gotta take a look at named enemies. And I think that they should just respawn every 15 seconds. They should respawn every 15 seconds and then people could form a line or not form a line and like people could get their quest done, you know? And I feel like it'd be a pretty simple thing to do. Let's go get this one turned in, and let's just see where that leaves us level-wise. We could go fight some of the Murlocs. I'm not, like, super hot to do that. That thought of that does not get me going, so maybe we don't, but we'll see. If we're really close to getting the level, maybe we hit 30 today. I just don't want to rush it, you know? I don't want to rush to 30 and make some stupid mistake like tackling Murlocs that we really just auto-wait on.
I supply only the finest goods. See you around.
Where is... Oh, we can't turn it in yet. We need to buy an item. We need the soothing spices from, like, a trade good vendor. Okay. Yeah, that worried me there for a minute when I didn't see the quest turn in. What do you have? Barlow's Yeti Fur Cloak. No, we're not doing that.
Good day to you.
Let's see. Mild soothing spices. Right? Yeah, there we go.
Safe travels.
You need something?
And down the coast here, okay, so yeah, let's grab it. It's level 30, let's grab it, we'll go check it out. Now there's a chance that they're gonna be like level 28, 29, right?
What can I do for you? See you around.
Bar and a half. A bubble and a half of XP. It's close, but what is it really close? In classic era, it's not super close. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, guys. These are level 30 oracles, and how am I gonna pull this oracle away from his little friends here? How would I do that? And are there gonna be any murlocs that we can pull on their own? Murlocs are scary as hell for hardcore. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah. No. 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 And no. Yeah, we're not gonna do it. We are not doing that. I have all bad feelings about it. I've made that mistake too many times before and gotten too many characters killed by stubbornly sticking to an area that I just have to leave. Damn, they have insane aggro range. I was getting worried that the aggro range was going to be bad. They were going to run far. They were going to go into the water to run. And they would be even faster in the water. And that would be just downright awful. So, yeah. I don't know. Interesting. Do we want to try to grind this out? I think grinding this out would take a long time, if I'm being honest. What do we need? Okay, let's see. We need, so we have 300. Nope. 300 minus 40752. We need 3,548 experience. 3,400 XP. Am I gonna get 3,000 XP off of killing guys around here? It would probably take a long time. It would probably take a long time. Let's come down to the cemetery and just get a gauge on like how much XP we get per kill. And then I'll determine if I'm gonna be able to grind this out right now or if we're just gonna have to wait on it. We're not gonna get kill XP here. Okay. Okay, fair enough. We're not gonna get kill XP there. Perfect. I guess we'd have to go north of town. There might be some like higher level ghouls up here to fight. Maybe we check that out. I'm just not sure if we're gonna get 30 today, guys. I don't know that I'm gonna carve out the time for it. Maybe we just wait. Maybe we wait till next time. That way I don't get myself into a stupid situation and get us killed right on the eve of like a milestone, you know what I mean? I do think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to stop here for the afternoon. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. It's been really awesome. We are super close to a really important milestone and I just don't want to rush anything. I want it to go super smoothly. I want to have time to think about where I want to do this at, and I have to start thinking about where we're going to go next. So yeah, I think this is going to be a fair place to stop. And then next time, we know that as long as we don't get killed in a bubble and a half, we will be hitting level 30. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Thank you guys for being here. I truly do appreciate it. It's been a blast. Every time I get on and hang out with you guys, I have a lot of fun. I would go longer, but I think dinner's coming up. I want to get some food in me, and we'll just do this next time. We don't need to rush, you know, we got lots of time. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for showing up. And until next time, take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other. And we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon. Bye for now.